Alright, welcome back guys, it's Carlo. I couldn't help myself. The last video that I just made me think of this next topic that I wanted to get out, which is showing up for yourself, right? Other ways to fill your cup. Last video was self-talk, which is a great way to start filling your own cup, showing up for yourself. But there are many other ways, and I wanted to focus on that just like overarching topic of showing up for yourself, which ultimately all falls under the umbrella of self-love, right? We're all on a journey to love ourselves and to show ourselves the greatest love that we've ever known, because that can only come from ourselves, and we all have it in ourselves to do that. Okay, so showing up for yourself, right? Where should I start? Let me put it this way. Every single second of the day, every single moment of time lies an opportunity for you to show up for yourself, right? And that takes conscious thought, like a conscious pause and awareness and assessment. But the more you can identify those moments and practice showing up for yourself, the more it will become habit for you to always have your own back and to always be that person that has your best interest in mind, right? Like if you practice showing up for yourself once a week versus if you can find more pockets throughout the week, throughout the day, to do it multiple times in the week, multiple times a day, the more you can expand the frequency that you're practicing showing up for yourself, the more you'll start to feel loved, right? That self-love for yourself, to feel that you are cared for, you're important, what else? Like, you're worthy. So let me give an example, right? Let's say, let's start with waking up, right? The first moment of consciousness in the morning. You wake up, and instead of going on your phone, which I'm guilty of, we're all guilty of, it's the time period we're in right now, right? TikTok, Instagram, whatever else people are on. Facebook? I don't know if people on Facebook first thing in the morning, but sorry, I ran out of storage, but got that fixed. Okay, as I was saying, right, first thing in the morning, we're guilty of scrolling on our phones. But instead of doing that, take the time to pause, right? Pausing is a very useful tool. And ask yourself, what do I want for my morning, right? What do I think would be best for me? What do I need this morning, right? If you know every morning you wake up and you rot in your bed on your phone for 2 hours, and then you feel like horrible for the rest of the day, acknowledge that, right? That's okay, right? Have grace with yourself. We're all trying to become better. It doesn't define who you are. But acknowledge that and ask yourself, what can I do differently today that will help me have the best day that I can? And then doing that. So that might be not going on your phone at all. That might be, if you really want that little dopamine hit, I know, maybe setting a little time limit. Like telling yourself, okay, like I do want to go on my phone a bit before I get out of bed, but maybe limiting it to 15 minutes, 10 minutes. And then making yourself get out of bed, do your morning routine, use the bathroom, shower if you do that in the morning, brush your teeth, make yourself a breakfast, right? show up for yourself, right? It's easy, depending on your situation, to rely on other people to do that. Let's say you're living with your parents and your mom's always up or your dad's always up making you breakfast in the morning, right? Or maybe it's your significant other that you live with, like they always make breakfast for you in the morning. It's easy to accept that, but just make sure that you know that you can do that for yourself too, right? If they weren't there, could you show up for yourself and get yourself out of bed, make yourself a nice breakfast, give yourself that morning to energize yourself? And if the answer, honestly, you have to be honest with yourself. If the answer is no, maybe that's something you can start trying to do in little steps. Maybe not every day, but maybe once a week, and then, progress from there. So that's like first thing in the morning, right? Let's give another instance. That's an easy like starting point because that's like the moment you wake up. But like I said, every little moment is an opportunity to practice showing up for yourself. So let's do like midday. I'll give you an example midday. Let's say, it's hard for me to come up with an example. I'll just like give my own example. Let's say I've been wanting to crochet, right? I crochet like little stuffed animals and stuff. Let's say there's a crochet pattern for like a teddy bear that I've really been wanting to do, right? It's so cute. But I haven't had the time to do it. And let's say it's midweek and I wanted to spend my afternoon crocheting that bear. I really look forward to it, right? I know that that is a want that I need. Not that I need, but a want that I have that'll help me fill my own cup, right? Put energy into myself. And I plan to do that after lunch. But after lunch, my girlfriend really wants to go to the park and play or walk or take our dog out to the park. And she asked me, "Hey, babe, can we go to the park today? Like, I really want to take Nala. Nala's our dog." I've been guilty of in the past, because I really care for her, obviously, just saying yes. Like, that's kind of like people pleasing, and I know a lot of us are guilty of that, right? And it's okay to want to, please people, but as long as it's not to our own detriment, you need to make that judgment call. You're the one that's gonna show up for yourself. Because if you're offering something or saying yes to someone, they're gonna take it. Like, sure, if you have like a good friend or like someone who like might also be people pleasing, they might be like, "Are you sure?" Like, give you that second chance, but they're not obligated to do that. Like, if you said yes, you sign yourself up for that. So that's like an opportunity for me when my girlfriend asked me, "Can we go to the park?" And I know I really wanted to crochet. I was looking forward to this. It is my job to pause, right? Pausing is good, like I said, and honestly check in with myself. And like, am I willing to go to the park right now, even though I know that I really wanted to crochet? And to act in that, right? Whether that be like, if my truth is, no, like, I really don't want to go to the park right now, I was gonna crochet, then that's what you would answer with. And obviously, like, I care about what my girlfriend wants as well, so like, I can compromise. I can ask, like, can we go to the park tomorrow instead? Or another alternative, right, is if I'm willing to compromise on crocheting at the park, right? If I feel okay, like, saying, "Oh yeah, we can go to the park, but I really wanted to crochet, so I want to bring a blanket so that I can sit and crochet while we're at the park. Then you can do that if that's your honest truth. But if you feel like you're sacrificing something too big, sacrificing a want or a need that you have for yourself to please someone else, that's you literally walking all over yourself, right? We have that saying where like you don't want to let other people walk all over you, but oftentimes we're not seeing the fact that we are the ones allowing ourselves to be walked over, and in turn we're actually the ones walking over ourselves, because you can't control other people's actions. You can only control your own and maintain your own autonomy in what you do with yourself. And part of that is whether or not you can have boundaries and whether or not you let people walk all over you, right? Them having the choice to try to, or even if it's not intentional, right? It's not always intentional. That's on them. That's like their own autonomy, right? Their wants, their needs. But whether or not you let that get by is your responsibility. So, sorry if I got sidetracked, but yeah, that's just an example, like, where I would pause, ask myself, that's a good phrase that I learned, and that goes with self-talk again, my last video. Watch it if you haven't, but asking yourself, what do I actually want right now, or what do I actually need right now? And obviously, you can take other people's wants and desires in mind. And if there is a compromise, like a win-win situation, do that. And if your truth is you really need to show up for only yourself right now, do that, right? Let's say it's you got home, long day from work, right? And you really want to get a good workout in, right? You haven't been in the gym in days, and you really want to show up for yourself in that way. But you get home, and let's say your mom really needs help with some urgent paperwork or something that's due tonight. And you have to pause and ask yourself, okay, like, what can I do in the moment to show up best for myself? And you obviously still care about your mom, right? So you got to make that assessment. Like, I would say in that situation, it's probably checking with your mom, seeing kind of like maybe how long that paperwork might take, and then going from there. So you might be able to knock it out first if it doesn't take too long, and then still take yourself to the gym, get that workout in at night, right? And that might come with shortening your workout if need be, because if you need to get your sleep or get to bed by a certain time to get your sleep, you might have to shorten your workout, but at least you at least still went to the gym. You showed up for yourself in that way. But if the paperwork's gonna take the rest of the night, right, and your mom really needs help, you have to ask yourself, like, I mean, in that situation, you would kind of, not that you have to, but just acknowledge that you are the one making that choice to help your mom because you do care about her. And then after getting that out of the way, figuring out how you can reprioritize going to the gym, whether that be waking up early the next morning and getting that session in, or really trying again the next day, right? Don't just like be like, oh man, well, I have to help my mom with this and I can't go to the gym, and then just give up on it. Like, there's still a new day the next day. And that's once again, self-talk, right? Telling yourself, okay, like, my mom really needs help. I really care about her, and I'm the only one that can help her. So I'm making this choice to show up for her, but I'm still going to make sure that I show up for myself the next opportunity that I can. Yeah, just continuing to practice showing up for yourself in every little moment that you can. Take that pause, ask yourself, what do I actually want right now? What do I actually need right now? And figuring out the best way to make that happen while also taking into account, if you have the capacity, the people around you, right? We always want win-win situations. If there's an instance where you can compromise without like hurting yourself in any way, do that if that's what you want. But if you need to just choose you in that moment, that's okay. People might label that selfish, but you know that that is selfful, right? That is something for yourself that you know, only you know you really needed that in the moment. Other people don't know that. They can only perceive your actions through what they know, and they might think it's selfish, and that's okay. You know, if it's someone you care about and you're comfortable with communicating that with them, you can share that with them. Like, hey, like I really needed that moment to myself. I don't want you to think that I don't care about you. And someone who, you know, has their head and heart screwed on right should be understanding of that. It should be like, oh, thank you for letting me know. I'm sorry if I put you in any position to like drain you in any way or blah 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 blah. But if they're like, no, fudge you, like you only care about yourself, blah blah blah. If they go crazy on you for choosing like to okay, if they go crazy on you for choosing yourself in a small moment and they can't understand that you just really needed that for yourself in the moment, that's on them. That's on them. Okay, it's easy to feel like, obviously that doesn't feel good if that's someone you care about, but you just gotta remind yourself, like, you're doing your best, you're trying to show up for yourself, and you're the only person that can really do that fully, right? So you gotta just can't let that get to you. It's easier said than done, but like I said, it's that self-talk. Yeah, I think I went on really long in this video, really long, but I know I provided a few examples. Yeah, thank you for getting to the end of this video. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. Still trying to get better at speaking and being concise. I don't know how concise I was in this video, given it's already 15 minutes, and this is like the second part of the video, because I think I ran out of storage after that first part. But yeah, I hope this message was helpful. I hope you guys can practice showing up for yourself, practice that pause, right? Asking yourself, what do I really want in this moment? What do I really need? And how can I give that to myself? How can I take into account my best interests while also the best interests of the people I care about, right? Because you still care about other people. It's not like only caring about yourself, but it's just remembering to care for yourself as well. I guess I can put it that way. Yeah. Stay tuned for my next videos. Take care. Have a great day. And remember to eat something. Remember to drink water. And tell yourself that you love yourself. That's it. Peace, guys.